I came from Manila. So I flew from Manila to actually Albuquerque, not Taos, and then I drove across the country to the Leaf Festival. And I came here because I feel a sense of belonging when I'm here. I've been coming for years. There's family here. There's a sense of place here. There's a sense of creative expectation. And that expectation brings me back twice a year. And I'll keep coming until I'm not here anymore on this earth. So 5 highlights for this retreat. 1, the writing workshop I was in that I led. Everybody was just glowing. The sun and the clouds came down on us with a little bit of rain. Spring was a highlight. The poetry reading we did on Saturday night, it was very dynamic, and it was quiet, and it was intimate, and I saw my friends, people I've known for years, and I met a couple of new people, and I was pleased to just be there.
I flew in from Lilongwe, Malawi. Malawi is a small country in Central Africa. So Lilongwe, Addis, Chicago, North Carolina. And I come back year after year because I'm always amazed at these kinds of little happenings. This time, one highlight was at the closing ceremony, watching the young boys and girls from Uganda interact with their counterparts from Guatemala and having them sing together. Something that I don't think they had done throughout the concert, throughout the retreat. So that was definitely a highlight. Another highlight was watching their individual acts, and the chaperone or the leader of the boys from Uganda talking about how these young boys came as 7-year-olds, 8-year-olds, and now as 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds, they are beginning to teach the young ones who are coming up. And so culture keepers used to be 50, 60, 70. Now culture keepers are 15, 16, 18, and they are realizing the power of what they have and their musicality and all of that. And then having people come after the presentation that I did on with the story, and having somebody come to me and say, last October when you came, you talked about being in the body and breathing and stopping to reflect, how that has helped me. And so I wanted to make sure that I saw you this time around just to tell you. So the interaction between the young people, the fact that these 16, 17-year-olds are becoming culture keepers, and somebody coming to me and saying, you gave me a lifestyle tip that has really helped me in my life. That's what LEAF is about, bringing people together, preserving culture, and allowing people to transform their lives.
I'm Georgia, and I came from Costa Rica, Santa Teresa, Costa Rica, in the Nicoya Peninsula, up to see LEAF. I came Wednesday night, and for me, every time I get to May LEAF, I just feel like I'm home. I have arrived to May LEAF from Uganda. I've arrived to May LEAF from Italy. I've arrived to May LEAF from Peru. I've arrived to May LEAF from Costa Rica. No matter where I'm coming from, the moment I get on property, I have the biggest exhale and the feeling that I'm home. And that's what it's always been to me, and I know that's what it'll always be for me. And every time it's special, every time it's this conglomeration of people and backgrounds and relationships and moments where magic is created. Some highlights for me this LEAF was definitely seeing the headhunters and being present for New Orleans legacy. I mean, just seeing these men that have been playing live music for decades, longer than I've been alive, and holding this torch of blues and jazz and rock, and thinking about how many people have been present for their shows and the fact that I get to be present for them now. And thinking about that legacy of like, they've been doing this since the 70s, and how much longer will they be doing it for? And just feeling the honor of being there. Another one of my highlights was actually during Boukman Experience, who I haven't seen since I went and saw them in Haiti when I was the Leaf International Director in 2014, I think. But I was super excited for that show, but even more than seeing them live, watching a dance-off between local Asheville kids, Ugandan kids, that then turned into an intergenerational dance-off. Masankho was getting down with a girl from Uganda. A pregnant mother came in and was dancing off with a Ugandan kid. And watching this magic of like, some of those kids are some of my friends' children, and watching them, knowing they've grown up at Leaf, they're pretty much teenagers, and they're speaking the language of dance with people from multiple generations and cultures. And that was kind of this magic moment of like where dance transcends background, language, and anything else. And what else? I mean, seeing the Ugandans perform, seeing Chinobe, who I've known for years, turn an idea into a thriving nonprofit to the point where he's being able to bring kids from his project that started in the slums of Kampala, and now he's bringing them all over the country to perform throughout the US, was pretty amazing. And just seeing the way in which, like, when cultures and relationships come together, ideas can go from just being an idea to being full-fledged projects. And then honestly, just being with people I love. Like, that's probably the biggest one though, is just like relationships I've had that I wouldn't have without Leaf, and being able to see them every year and just immediately flowing into the same rhythm that I always have with them. And I think more than anything, that's what Leaf is. It's a community. It's a community, and it's a home for all of us, no matter where we come from.